Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So we are going to sew the style you see on the thumbnail. We are going to use this fabric that they call it paradise. That's how they call it in Ghana, paradise. So we'll first cut the down part before we cut the upper part. And so the down part, you are going to cut it into half a circle. Okay, so we are using a waist measurement of 40. Then I'm going to add 10 inches to 8 and make it 50 because I will make the back a bit gather and the front too a bit. So that's what I'm going to do. And so the 50, you're going to divide it by 0.14 because it's half a circle. If it's full circle, it's going to be 6 point. If it's full circle, it's going to be 6.28. So you're going to divide it by 3.14. And so that gives me 15.9. So we're going to make it 16. Then you write that 16 and put it aside. And we are going to look at the length of the dress. The length of the dress is 40. Let us start from my underbust, and shoulder from underbust is 15. So I'll take 15 from the 40 and we are going to be left with 25. And so 25, that's what we are going to use to make our calculation. So in allowance purpose, I'm going to add 2 inches to the 25, and that's going to be 27. And so I'm using a fabric of 3 yards. This is a double length fabric. Okay, so I'm going to measure the 27 plus the 16, and that's going to be 43. So I'm going to measure 43 and then I'll fold it into 2. So this is it. I folded it into 2. Now the edges there, when you look at the edges, that's where you measure the 43 and then fold it into 2. So when you open up, it's going to be 86. But I added more to it because I realized that I won't get enough to make my gather at the back. And so instead of 43, I made it 49. So when you open up, it's going to be 90 plus. Do you get it? And so I'm going to fold this in a triangular form. I will put this camera down and then fold it in a triangular form. Then I'll show it to you. So this is it. This is how I folded it in a triangular form to get our half a circle. The edges where we folded 49 into 2, making 90 plus. That is where you fold and make it in a triangular form. Okay, so I'm going to use a paper to explain this to you. This is I'm the same person taking the video and also doing the cutting, so it's difficult to do it together, especially if the fabric is this wide. So I'm going to use the paper to explain it to you. Okay, so let's look at this paper. So imagine this is your fabric. You are going to fold your fabric to the measurements you want. That is, after measuring your waist radius and then the length of the dress, when you join it together like we had 43, you are going to fold it this way to 43. So let me turn it, fold it this way to 43. Do you get it? 43. Then the next one to be 43. So when you open up, it's going to be 86 this way. Do you get it? So after folding it this way to the desired measurement, you are going to fold this in a triangular form. And so this is the edge where you fold it. So you place your finger here and then fold it this way. You see, and then you get your triangular form this way. I hope this explains it well. Okay, so let's put this aside and then go to the fabric. So I've made my markings here. So let me take you through. And so when we did the skirt radius, when we calculated, we had 15.9 and then we rounded it to 16. So you place it here and then measure the 16 and measure 16 all around to this point. But after I realized that I won't get much to gather, so when I calculate, I have 12.5. So 12.5 at the end of the day, I'm going to get 50 for the waist, which wouldn't be enough considering my side and side sewing allowance. And so I'm going to make it from 60 I'm going to make it 18. So I'll place it here and measure my 18. So we are going to calculate and see what we have. So what I have here is 13.5, and so 13.5, it means I'm going to have 27 at the front and 27 at the back. Depending on how much goddess you want in the dress will tell how much you add to your waist and then cut. So from here we'll measure our skirt length. Place it at the end here to measure the length that I want. We asked for the length of 27. Okay, that's 25 plus to make it 27, but I'm going to make it 28. So at the end of the day I'll pull about 2 inches up. Do you get it? Okay, so I'll just place the 28 at where the fabric ends, and then measure it up, and then I will use that one as my waistline. Where the one is, that is where my waistline will start from. Then I'll measure it from there. So from the 28 I'll measure here, you see. Okay, so when I place it here and then measure, I'm going to get like 20.25. so I'm going to take that one through. Okay, so with this I will have enough for my waist and the gather and all that. So I have like 15.5, so I'll have 31 in front, 31 at the back, which will be okay. So at the end of the day I'm going to take 4 inches from the front, 4 inches from the back to make sewing allowance at the side. But you can make it either 1 inch or 1.5. It all depends on you. Okay, so we are going to measure the skirt length. So just place it here and then measure the 28, which is exactly here. Another 28 here. I'm going to cut it through. So this is it. So this is where the down parts that I did the cutting. Okay, so we are going to cut the waist part too. Okay, so the day, this is what you are going to have. One for front, one for back. This one no need for zip. Do you get it? Okay, so put this aside and then we are going to cut the upper parts. Now with the upper part, you are going to make use of this thing. It's a corset one, and I have a video on how I came by this, so if you want to watch this, I'll leave the link there for you. So I'm going to fold the fabric and place them on it, then we'll continue. So I have this fabric here folded into 2. I'm going to place this on it and come here this way and then draw everything and then add your allowance to it, your sewing allowance of 1/2 inch to it. So, or you can also do it this way. We'll come here and then get our 1/2 inch allowance, 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So come here to measure the same 1/2 inch, and so I'm going to draw it out. going to draw this one also. Okay, and so when you take it back, this is it. When you take it back, it's this way. So we have a 1/2 inch here. Now this, we are supposed to go up also 1/2 inch for 8. You see, so it's going to be here this way. Do you get it? Okay. And so at the end of the day, this is where the underbust is. See, this is the underbust, but we are going to add 1 inch to it. We are going to add 1 inch from the underbust for allowance purposes. So we are going to add it here. So from here we'll measure, and then we have it here. So this is the line. Let's try and get a straight line from here. We want to get everything equally. So from here we have 8, so we are going to measure the same 8 also here. The style will start from the underbust, not the waist, not exactly the waist, but you can choose to have it exactly at your waist line. Okay. So we are going to cut it from here. So we have this for the middle. So this is it for the middle side. Okay, so put this aside. So I folded this into 2. I'm going to place this on it and get the cap this way. I want this one to come to the down part and this one to go to the upper part. So I'll draw this out. Okay, so we'll take it out. This is where we are going to join. That is why we have the arrows here showing that this is where it will be joined. So I'm going to make these lines here to indicate that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just create a notch here to indicate that this is where we are going to join to the other side, just a small notch. So I have these small notches here to do that indication for me. I'm going to cut this side. We are done cutting these two. So in order to get this side, I decided to place this yoke on it to get the side because I want to have this armhole in place. If you don't want the armhole, you want it in a tube form, then just take this one off and then trace it. You get it? So I'll put it together this way. You see? And I'm going to draw it. So this one will be here. You see? So this is where this is going to be. You see? Okay, I'm going to draw it out this way. Take this one out and then have this one also here. You see? Okay, so when you take it out, this is it. You see, we have this. Okay, so we are going to get this one, and so I'm going to bring this one also here and then place this there. okay, this way. Then I'm going to place this on top to just indicate this, and then this one will come here, you see, then come to the side here. This is where the underbust is. We are going to add 1 inch to this side, and so let me extend it to the 1 inch. So from here I'll just add the 1 inch to it. Yes, so this is the 1 inch. Okay. Then I'll take this one off and then draw this out. So just follow what I'm doing, you understand. And then I'll bring this one here where 1 inch is supposed to be. So I have exactly 1 inch. So I have it this way, you see. And so this is it. So at the end of the day, we have this out, and this is going to be here. Yes, so this is it. And then we have this one out, you see. So what you're going to do is to add allowance to this side, and then add allowance to all of this. Do you get it? But the armhole here, we are not going to add any allowance. We are just going to add it to this. So at the end of the day, we are going to have this. So each for each breast, and then this each for each side. Do you get it? So we'll put this aside. We are going to cut the back. This is for the back. These two are for the back side, and this is another one for the back, you see. So let me place this here. Now this is for the front, so I'm going to place this here so that I can know where the back measurement ends, the underbust is. So this is it, and we are going to add 1 inch to it. 1 inch, and so the 1 inch is going to be here, you see. Okay, 1 inch is going to be here. So to cut everything short, you can decide to place it here and then measure from this line. So from this line is 3, so we are going to have 1 inch here, and so you bring the same thing here, the 3 inches also here. When you bring it here, see, this is where the 1 inch will be. This is where the 1 inch will be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this aside, and then I'll do it one after the other, because we want to have allowance at each side at the end of the day. So I'll bring this one here this way. I'm going to draw it out this way. Then draw this one also out. This is where it will end, you see. And then, so this is it also where it will end. Okay, so I'm going to have it this way at the end. And let me mark this place. So this is where I will join to. This is the dot line, and so I'm going to make these two things to indicate that it's this side that it is going, this side. So I will just add my allowance half inch all over. I'm going to pick this one is the yoke, and I'm going to place it on it this way. I want how do you call it, I want to get the armhole. So I'm going to come down so that I'll get the armhole. I'm going to come down this way, and then I'm going to come here this way. Okay, so like this, and this is where the armhole will be. So this is it. There's a dot line, and so this is where the armhole is now. And so when we place this here, we are going to draw it to meet this. You see, so at the end of the day, it's going to be like this. It's going to be like this. So it's going to be like this. Do you get it? Then we are going to bring our half inch here so that we can, for the dot side. So this is it. It's going to be like this when we join together, you see. So I'm going to get one of this, and then we are going to work on the zip allowance side. Now let me indicate this one also. This is that side. So we are going to get this. This is the zip allowance. We don't need it in this style, and this is where I did my marking in case you want to add a loop. And so I'm going to measure what I have here, and then I'll take it off this. And so what I have here is 3.5, exactly 3.5. Then I'll come here and measure. It's not up to 3.5, it's 3.25. Measure 3.25 also, and I'm going to I just place my ruler here, mark it out. And you can decide to, when you are doing it, you can decide to have instead of cutting exactly at the 3.5, you can make it 3 so that the half will be your sewing allowance. But I decided to make it this way. It's okay for me. If I change my mind, I can decide to place this on another fabric and cut, and then add the half inch allowance to it. Hope you get it. Okay, this is it for the back. and we have this for the front.